landscape of structural bolting in Australia has grown since the release of AS/NZS 1252/2016. This revision allows the use of new bolt types and tightening methods, improves reliability, offers higher strength bolts, and simplifies inspection. Are you receiving the correct certification? The focus of the 2016 revision was to provide clear requirements for quality assurance. This revision aligned Australian structural bolting with European standards and has nominated EN 14399 Part 3 for use as alternative and additional assembly types. There is still a lot of old 1983 product in the Australian market. Unfortunately, not everyone is aware of their responsibility to use current standards, and there is a lack of understanding about the difference between the old and new standards. As a supplier, we encourage you to always specify the full standard name, year, and designation. AS/NZS 1252/2016, Property Class 8.8 K0. This guarantees that there is no ambiguity or misinterpretation with what products are expected to be delivered to site. So how do you ensure your products comply with the standard? You should confirm you have received the correct product by checking the label, bolt markings, and quality certificates. Check the label. Label should state the full product designation, AS/NZS 1252/2016, including the K class. Hobson Engineering have a statement of conformity on the box label. Check for the product trace to confirm quality certificates match the product. If you don't see K0 on the label, you have the wrong product. Check the product itself. AS/NZS 1252/2016 structural bolts must have 3 radial lines and the property class 8.8. Hobson Engineering uses a 3-letter traceability code that allows you to retrieve quality documentation online. The 3-letter code can be found on the box label, bolt head, and testing certificates, guaranteeing full traceability. Check for the supplier's mark so that you know who to contact if there's an issue with the product. AS/NZS 1252 assemblies should be supplied with the following: initial type testing, or ITT, factory production control, or FPC, and a supplier's declaration of conformity, or SDoc. The SDoc should contain a test report for AS 1252 Part 2 verification testing and a signed statement from the supplier. Check the trace code across all of the quality documentation. Initial type testing is extensive dimensional and mechanical testing to verify manufacturing methods are suitable. Testing is carried out before the product is first placed into the market and when significant changes to the manufacturing process occur. This includes changes to the supply of steel and other materials. Type testing is demonstrated by a certificate of conformity from a third-party audit. Third-party audits provide the highest level of confidence as they are assessed regularly and are independent of the supplier. These auditors will also generally have a better understanding of a manufacturer's internal quality systems. Of course, suppliers can review ITT test reports, but more often than not, the only contact they have with the manufacturer is through a purchasing department. The certificate should mention the standard the product is assessed to. In most cases, this will be EN 14399. Confirm that all diameters are specified and the correct property class is listed. Make sure that the manufacturer has been assessed for HR bolt assemblies, as this is the only product type designated by AS 1252. Factory production control is used by the manufacturer to demonstrate that the product complies to the standard. Although often labelled as Type 3.1 certificates, these are often non-compliant and do not fulfill the intent of factory production control. Type 3.1 certificates must be organised by the manufacturer or factory, not an importer. Check the trace code matches what you have received on the product label. Check the ILAC MRA name and accreditation number. Testing laboratories for factory production control will usually be from the country of origin, such as China or Korea. Check what other quality systems the manufacturer is certified to, such as ISO 9001. There must be a minimum of 5 assembly tests per batch. The number of samples and results should be clear on the certificate. Assembly testing is often not performed to the sample size required by the standard. This is a critical test that demonstrates a bolt assembly's ability to be pre-tensioned and to maintain that tension above the minimum required after excessive nut rotation. Individual components can pass the respective mechanical test, but the assembly test is the test that truly demonstrates that bolt assembly is fit for purpose. A supplier's declaration of conformity is comprised of 2 important documents. The first document is AS/NZS 1252/2016 Part 2 verification testing. Verification testing is an additional, non-mandatory part of the standard to ensure compliance. Although most reputable suppliers will have this testing available, do not assume that everyone selling these products will. The test report should clearly state that it is for AS NZS 1252 Part 2 and should be performed at a NILAC MRA accredited laboratory. Check that the trace code matches the FPC and box label. This report should be unique for all diameters and lengths. Make sure that the results have passed. All Hobson verification testing is reviewed by our quality team before the product is released for sale. The second document is the supplier's statement. This document holds businesses in Australia and New Zealand accountable for the products that are put into the market. This is a legal document that should be signed by an appropriate representative of the company, such as a technical or quality manager. All Hobson quality documentation can be found on demand from our website by searching either the trace number or 3-letter trace code on the bolt, or by scanning the QR code on the box label. Download our AS NZS 1252 quality checklist to make sure you comply.